Hi, everybody. Good evening. Sunday evening. How was your weekend? I had a lot of fun today, seeing how the messages that came out in a way to work with the energy rolled out for me. I had a nice slow day, and then there was this. There, I went to the pool, and it was there were a bunch of people there, which was fine. Whatever, I was doing my thing and chatting and socializing with them. And then all of a sudden something really weird happened, and like everybody disappeared. And I was there by myself. So that snail's pace and that listening to nature and that basically was pervasive through my whole day. And I love the way that set the tone. Like I said, I felt like that was an overtone for the week. And then a couple of things I want to talk about, I noticed was that cat that was in the Seven of Swords. Go back to that reading and look. That cat that was in the Seven of Swords, that really continued to resonate with me because it was like, really pay attention to nature. Like, what are you doing that's going against your nature? Like that's really what that card's all about. You're taking these swords and you're so committed to this purpose. You don't even know why you even came in the room to begin with. Like the purpose that you thought, the path and thought you're so committed to, but does it really resonate? That was the question. That was the question, and then that got followed up with what the hanging man. The opportunity to think about, like, what did I come here for to begin with, and why am I so hard pressed to like steal all these knives? Like, this isn't me, right? And that cat was looking at him like, why are you throwing knives at me? Like the cat was like that voice of nature in the room, and that our nature, to listen to ourselves, and that came across really, really clearly. And so I just wanted to kind of point that out, that when you're in we find ourselves in these situations where we something just feels off. Like, instead of just bulldozing through and insisting on carrying the swords out, you know what? Not, like I said, I shared in the commentary, yesterday, that I'm just as guilty of that as anybody else. So, I feel like, oh gosh, I think we're going to continue working with that deck. We're going to continue working with the Gilded Tarot. So what are the messages for Monday, July 19th? I feel like that theme, the themes that came up in the reading last night are totally resonant for the week, and see how they kind of play out for you. And I feel like taking our time this week, taking a time out, like realizing that you're part of things as well as a part. You know what I mean? We're both individuals and we are connected to nature. Let's not forget that connection to nature. We're not separate from our environments. And in order to, and the more we realize that separation is not real, the more we're part of nature, the more we're in flow of things. So when we get to those points where we have to kind of, and it takes a moment to hang upside down and just reconsider what it is we're trying to do. Take a time out. That came to me later afterwards, actually. All right, so what are the messages for Monday, July 19th? We've got one coming out already. Five of Wands. So we're backing down a little bit. So now we're at a Five of Wands instead of a Seven of Swords kind of situation, where this is just kind of like, this is like playful, kind of like playful tests. Seeing the, test of strength, kind of working with the powers in the room rather than with swords, which are going to hurt a lot more than these. I mean, these look like they could do a little damage, but it's mainly a game. And when we are playfully collaborating, and in play and in joy, and as opposed to kind of more of a banter kind of thing, things kind of come. I see these orange butterflies. We can get very creative, and orange is the color of the sacral chakra, our creative center. Butterflies always transformation. What are these, like little mice? Mice see everything in the room, and then we can kind of mice can like get through mazes and stuff like that. Like, they can kind of work stuff out. So that's a good sign. So we've come away from that sharpness of the swords and that theft, because that energy is just draining. That's the kind of energy that drains us when we're really at odds with everything around us, rather than working with. So instead, we've got something that's, again, a little more of a playful thing. And everybody seems to be wearing a different color in this. We've got a lot of orange, a burgundy, a purple, a blue. Two more cards. Oh, the Fool has come out, and the Ace of Cups. So we've got these two that have come out together. Card of beginnings. And again, playful. Playing with all the different aspects of our personality. Juggling. That's all those signs of the zodiac that are juggling back and forth between the hands of this Fool, this person that's decided to be just a little bit foolish, risking being foolish in order to play and maybe learn something, being in a very learning perspective. Doesn't know everything, and doesn't even know he doesn't know everything, And then we fill ourselves up with the Ace of Cups, and again, there's still this sort of like he's juggling all the signs of the zodiac, but then we have these moons that are being juggled as well, kind of over that, and it's kind of echoing that arc above the Fool. The arc of the moons are there. And this is probably some of that energy that was coming up in that message I gave last week or whatever, beginning of last week or prior to that, about how we were that message was going to bring us up. This is that full moon. This is bringing us up to the moon. I'm going to go ahead and see if I pull one up. These guys came out together, and perhaps we have one more card that would like to come out as a commentary, for tomorrow's energies for Monday, July 19th, July 19th, 2021. So Ace of Cups is filling ourselves up emotionally, being filled up by the divine, being filled up, taking that moment, that opportunity to be in that moment. With the Fool card coming out with that, I definitely see that as a being open to the divine energies that can come in and help teach us, being open to what our spirituality can teach us, being open to what our own spirit has to tell us, and what we can learn from that, and to play with our divinity, and to be in joy, and to be like I said, all aspects of our personality. Here's the final card, Eight of Wands. I believe this card was coming out a couple of nights ago as well. Messages coming in about where we're directing our passions. And although everything is very idyllic in the field below with all the sheep, it's like we're taking this kind of leadership, we're taking this kind of energy, and we're making a commitment and shooting towards something that we are really serious about, and we're really passionate. It's really sparking up our hearts, and it may be that we're going up and over what was a very calm situation, but now we're just so fired up about it that we are really starting to drive towards some new kind of endeavors, some new projects, that kind of thing. The Knight of Wands is also here to support that. So we can get a little too hot-headed. I always caution against that. But we have the Ace of Swords, which will help us kind of keep our cool, right? We tap into that more high divine kind of thought, bringing in thoughts from the upper to down here to below, as above, so below, will help to kind of like counter this energy and all of this fire as well. And then we also have the Queen of Cups, who is here to say that, we've got our creativity. And in this particular deck, she's depicted as pregnant, almost like an empress kind of energy. And what was I going to say? She is here to also show that we have really strong, we're going to be really creative with our spirituality, with what our spirit has to tell us about how to move forward, really in touch with our intuition, utilizing our emotions as the guides to the art, like checking how we feel in a situation, and speaking from our heart and working from that standpoint. So those are and then we have a Two of Wands, which is again going on a journey. So there's really good cards at the bottom of the deck. Let's go ahead and angle this down, and let's talk about these a little bit. So here in this, here we have, again, we have energies of, maybe some tension going on, but it's nothing to be taken too seriously. These are the Five of Wands. There's a little bit of back and forth going on. This could be with ourselves, various aspects of ourselves. And I see that because, we have all the signs of the zodiac coming in with what this Fool is juggling. So, and these are the central cards of the reading. So, but by tapping into, or taking that moment at any point in the day, and I would definitely advise to do it right straight out the gate, maybe even at various points through the day. Taking 5-10 minutes at various points through the day can really help to continue to fill up your own cup by taking those moments to be with by yourself, to take that time out in order to integrate these various aspects as opposed to being at odds with it. And at that point, then we take all of these wands and we're actually shooting them all in one direction. We're aiming. Now we've got a real focus rather than it being sort of willy-nilly and being kind of juggly and jangly. Take that moment to be in that beginner's perspective, to be open to the divine, wiser, higher impulses that can come in when we, take that moment to fill up our own cup and attend to our own emotions and attend to our own state of being. And then we talked about these guys. So there's not a whole lot that we need to say about that. I think we've pretty much said it all. We have the wherewithal to do. This is just the kind of energy that might be that's going to be available to us throughout the course of the day. I'm also seeing he's got, we'll be able to juggle anything and focus our energy and have it, do it in a playful manner. And when we have all of, a little fire, might feel a little hot-tempered, but, just when we take that, when we're in this kind of energy, constantly taking that moment to take that time out, take that time to ourselves, attend to ourselves and our emotions, we're, recruiting more of these higher kind of logic, higher functioning judgment calls, discerning energy rather than judgment, so to speak. And we're not so much in this like super fiery, kind of, a hot and cold kind of situation. So that's the energy for that. I did bring out the Archangel Power cards, and I think we'll work with them as a final commentary on the reading. And I haven't pulled from this deck. I don't think I've ever used this deck. And this is a Doreen Virtue deck. The Gilded Tarot is artwork by Ciro Marchetti and by Barbara Moore. And then while I'm shuffling, here's cards already coming up, the Chariot. So we have another major arcana in addition to the Fool here. And the Chariot, Archangel Metatron. So maybe call on him. Determination and self-control, career advancement, acknowledgement of success by others. So again, we are driving our chariot. We're starting to move it in one direction, and by controlling our, using our emotions, utilizing them as those, checking how we feel, taking time to attend to how we feel, we're going to be very much better able to drive forward as we begin this week, rather than it, being, but he's having a good time, right? Look at him. His hand is on his heart. There's so many sparkles. Like, he's having a great time with this. So this is something to have a good time with. Make sure to take time out to have a good time. Laughter therapy. Laughter is always the best medicine. All right, guys, I'm going to leave it at that. I thank you for joining me, and I love you so much. Like, share, subscribe. If you want your own reading, definitely direct message me or whatever. Email me at lisa.loring@gmail.com. Thank you for your donations. I appreciate that. And yeah, sharing is caring, so definitely the sharing is the best thing you can do. All right, I love you. Have a great one. Bye.